It's Adam Newsome here of Newsome MMA. I'm with Windy Miller, who is currently running the UKMMAF training at the training centre. Windy, how are you?
I'm really good, thank you. Yeah, I'm the president, so luckily I've got lots of coaches, Joanne Doyle, Matt Thorpe, Spenner, all these guys helping me, and they're doing a lot of the coaching, so I just have to stand there and look good, which is easy.
Absolutely. And what's the long-term goal for the UKMMAF, and how is the UKMMAF going to change the world of MMA?
Well, I think the world of MMA is developing along its own course. MMA is developing more as an amateur sport for sure. Looking at the work with IMMAF, they're building a brilliant world championships and European championships as well. And what you're seeing is the rise of the amateur athlete. We know that probably 90% of people who train in MMA don't ever compete. Of the 10% that do, most of those will be amateur athletes, and then a very small percentage will go on to professional. But the progression pathway for an athlete will be through the syllabus that we have, and then to compete, and to compete at kind of local level, national level, then international level, and then turn pro, rather than at the moment people tend to fight at a local level and then turn pro. So we'll be more on the Olympic boxing model.
So what's the advantages for an amateur mixed martial artist that is wanting to come through the UKMMAF and then over to the IMMAF? How many sort of fights are they looking to get out of those two tournaments?
Yeah, well, the main advantage of it is this, that rather than fighting on a local show, you've been tested against people from countries all over the world. So certainly the IMMAF project is backed by the UFC. So the UFC are looking at fighters who they can say they've been tested against people from different countries and they've competed at an international level. So there's a proven standard there for that athlete. And looking in the further to the very long term, we're looking at in 2028, the project is to have MMA in the Olympics. So if MMA is in the Olympics, then okay, you can say you're champion of your local town, whichever town it is, and that's kind of quite worthy. Or you could say you're Cage Warriors champion, which again would be probably more worthy. But you could say you're a European champion, which you consider a European champion to be a fabulous thing, or world. But if you ring up someone and say, I'm the Olympic champion, it's really got some kudos. And that's our very long-term goal. I want to be there in 2028. At the Olympics in Los Angeles with the England team being number one in the world. So that's my aim as president of the UKMMAF.
It would be absolutely huge for the sport of mixed martial arts to get into the Olympics, so you must be hopeful of achieving that dream, right?
Well, I prefer to travel and hope, and not only that, is if you set the goals and if you set that objective and you're clear in your objectives and your goals, then you've got a chance of hitting them. And IMMAF are doing a great work under Kerrith Brown, to achieve this objective, and we as a national federation are trying to get recognition for the sport of MMA in the UK and to set standards and support the people within the sport. And that includes promoters, that includes fighters, people who run gyms, coaches, everybody at every level, because the key thing is this: within UKMMAF we have a vision, and the vision is to make MMA in the UK a safe, accessible and recognised sport. There we go. We know what we want to do.
Absolutely, and it sounds really exciting. Windy, I just want to thank you for your time today. It's been a great insight to the UKMMAF, the IMMAF, and where your aspirations are and where you see the sport in the future. So thank you for your time.
That's my pleasure, anytime.